Max Verstappen coming into the final corner then to end his final flying lap in Q1. Verstappen comes to the line then and he goes 4 fastest. Not too shabby for Max Verstappen. He may not have the quickest car, but that will prove nicely for the 4-time world champion. 4 fastest so far for him. Carlos Sainz crosses the line, goes 40. Will that be enough to get him into Q2? We'll find out in a few moments. We're on board with Arvid Lindblad, who spun out and retired in the sprint. He'll be hoping for some payback in this qualifying session for the Grand Prix. We're on board with Arvid Lindblad coming out of the last corner, down the main straight. Lindblad goes 11th fastest. Good effort from the rookie, looking to get himself into Q2. Lance Stroll crosses the line, and he's nowhere near. He's out of qualifying once again in the Aston Martin, as is his teammate Fernando Alonso, who only 19. Franco Colapinto, does he get through? Yes, he does. 9th fastest, but he only lasts in time. What about Gabriel Bortoleto? 7th fastest, but the Audi man. Not too shabby at all for the Brazilian. Now we look at Valtteri Bottas in the Cadillac. Has he got pace to possibly get into Q2? Probably not, but anything can happen in Formula 1, and it usually does. As Bottas comes round the final corner, he was on pole here in 2019. He's now going down the main straight. Bottas to the line, and he's only 20th, but he's out-qualified one of the Aston Martins. Cadillac still proving to be a back marker, but it's still early days for the American squad. Both Williams, both Aston Martins, and both Cadillacs are finding themselves out in Q1. Isaac Hadjar coming out of turn 14. Has he got enough pace in that Red Bull to keep himself in Q2? In Q3, sorry. Hadjar comes out of the last corner and crosses the line, and he doesn't improve. Stays 10th fastest as Isaac Hadjar, so he's under pressure here. Verstappen crosses the line, and he goes 6th fastest. Will that be enough to get him through? I think it might be. But that depends on what happens. If there's a yellow flag waving, a double yellow flag waving in sector 3, and I think it's Gabriel Bortoleto who's gone off, and Lindblad's backed off. That's a shame for Arvid Lindblad. He's out qualifying, and there is Gabriel Bortoleto, who has gone off just before the pit lane entry. So that is a disaster there for one of the Audis. I think that's going to be both Audis out of qualifying. Gasly coming out of the last corner now and coming up to the line. He was 9th. Did he stay 9th? No, he goes 5th. Great lap from Pierre Gasly. He's proving that Alpine is good this year. Oscar Piastri, only 8th fastest for him. Franco Colapinto, can he get into Q3? No! Missing out by 5 thousandths of a second. This is what happened to Gabriel Bortoleto. Into the last corner. Whoa! Big snap there for Gabriel Bortoleto. And that is him out of qualifying. Hulkenberg, Colapinto, Ocon, Lawson, Lindblad, and the man who spun out, Gabriel Bortoleto, out in SQ2. So out in Q2. So Hamilton comes down. Oh, George Russell stopped.
Mental up right.
Looks okay now.
It's should check boost. I've got a massive engine brake in here. And
Oh no, George Russell, what's happened to him? Oh, he's got going again as George Russell. Kimi Antonelli is looking good here. Looking to be the only man to beat for pole position. Antonelli crosses the line, and it's a 1:32.3 for the others to catch and beat. Antonelli on pole at the moment. He's looking to be the youngest pole sitter in Formula 1 history if he can hang on to it, and he'll be the first Italian to be on pole since Giancarlo Fisichella at Spa back in 2009. Charles Leclerc on BT, he goes 2nd fastest, only 3/10 off Antonelli. What about Lewis Hamilton? He's got pace around this track. He adores this track. Can Hamilton get anywhere near Antonelli? No, only 7/10 off, and 3rd fastest for Hamilton. He'll need to try again to see if he's got the pace to challenge the Mercedes of Kimi Antonelli. Anything can happen in Formula 1, like I said before, and it usually does happen. Has Hamilton and Leclerc got anything in that Ferrari garage to take the fight to Mercedes once more? Lando Norris coming across the line, and he goes onto the front row for the time being. What about Oscar Piastri? Can he find some pace to get him off the front row? Piastri to the line, and he does go to the front row. Decent effort from Oscar Piastri. Now we turn to Isaac Hadjar in the Red Bull. Does he have pace to fight Anywhere near the front? No, only 6th fastest for Isaac Hadjar. What about Max Verstappen? Has he got the pace? No, only 6th fastest for Verstappen. Antonelli has never been on a Grand Prix pole before. He's been on pole for the sprint in Miami last year, but never on pole for a Grand Prix. Can he get one today? Here comes Kimi Antonelli. Can he improve his lap time as he goes over the line? Yes, he can. A 1:32.0 for Kimi Antonelli. And that's the time for the others to try and beat. Lando Norris, the reigning champion, looking to have the pace to see if he can beat Antonelli. Norris to the line. And he can't beat it. He stays third fastest. Anyone else will be hoping to try and beat out. Charles Leclerc looking to get himself anywhere near the front. Can Leclerc get Antonelli away from pole? He can't, but he's on the front row. It's Charles Leclerc. What about Lewis Hamilton? Can he out-qualify Charles Leclerc and get onto the front row? Well, he can. Hamilton is on the front row for the time being, unless someone can stop him. Here's Pierre Gasly in the Alpine. Where is he going to start the Grand Prix tomorrow? He goes 6th, ahead of the 2 Red Bulls. Great effort from Pierre Gasly. Ollie Behrman will be next to cross the line. Only 7, but ahead of the Red Bulls as well. Now we're on board Isaac Hadjar in the Red Bull. Has he got any pace to get anywhere near the Mercedes and the Ferraris, or maybe the McLarens? Hadjar coming to the line now, and he's only 7th fastest for Isaac Hadjar. Now we turn to Max Verstappen. Where does he go? He's only P7, nowhere near the front. Verstappen will be starting the Grand Prix from 7th at the best. And now the only man left is George Russell, the championship leader in the Mercedes. Has he got enough pace to take that pole away from Kimi Antonelli? It's going to be feisty between the 2 Silveranos once more. Russell, who has been confident so far this season, he had that power problem at the start of Q3. They managed to fix it. Russell will be hoping that he can cheer his mood up by taking pole. One more corner to go for George Russell. Can he take pole away for Kimi Antonelli? Or will history be rewritten? It's history rewritten. Kimi Antonelli is on pole for the first time ever in his Formula 1 career. He's the youngest pole sitter ever, and he's the first Italian since Giancarlo Fisichella in 2009 to take pole position. Take a bow. Kimi Antonelli, he is the youngest pole sitter in Formula 1 history.
Nice work, Kimi. That's a pole position, mate. Yeah, let's go, man. Woo!
Kimi Antonelli, take a bow. The young Italian takes his first ever pole in Formula 1. Will he turn out to his first victory in Formula 1 tomorrow? Anything can happen, but it's Kimi Antonelli who's done the job in qualifying in Shanghai. Pole for the first time ever, and he's the youngest pole sitter in Formula 1 history.